Well, hello, everybody. I'm going to show you this book. Let me keep it there. Ariel's Island by McKee. It's the winner of the Best Legal Thriller in the 14th Annual National Indie Excellence Awards. Let me tell you something, well worth it. It's the first in a trilogy. He's already got the second one written and it's published. I'm including the links in this. But these two novels, they hit the ground running, and you do not know what's going to happen next and why it's happening or how he's going to get out of it. This is going to be very interesting. A gruesome and unexpected death at his law firm propels young and hungry litigator Paul McDaniel into a world of patent disputes, court fights, unimaginable concentrated wealth of the Milano family, and murder, putting him on the run from the law. Paul scrambles to save his career, his love Melissa, heir to the Milano fortune, and prove himself innocent of bribery and murder. With help from Ariel, the ever-present assistant to Placido Milano, he escapes the long reach of the law as he winds his way from Atlanta to Florida to the islands in search of the real killers. I'm going to read you the opening. Let's see. Let's get to the front here. Ready? There was a body dressed in a suit and tie, impaled on the fountain in front of the law firm of Strange and Fowler. Pumps recycling water from the basin below sprayed geysers through the corpse 20 feet into the air, the water now red from the blood of the unfortunate and illuminated at the precise point of its apogee by perfectly timed spotlights. The sun was not yet high enough to glint off the upper stories of the building. I was an associate at the firm, just trying to get a jump on the 18-hour Friday that lay ahead when chaos intervened in my otherwise orderly life. A riot of blue lights hit me in the face as I turned the corner from my condo onto Peachtree Street. Oh, this is set in Atlanta, by the way, Atlanta, Georgia. Dozens of pinging strobes and a mob of cops, EMTs, TV cameras, press, and onlookers prevented me from seeing anything more until I got to the doors of the glass and steel tower housing the firm. After a glance, I ducked inside, not succumbing to the curiosity of the crowd craning to see more. After all, dead bodies in Midtown Atlanta aren't that rare. It didn't strike me that the body might be one of our own until I walked into the building and heard indistinct whispers of a familiar name. Eyes darting from one end of the slammed lobby to the other, trying to find someone who might know, I saw one of the partners. The blood seemed drained from his face as severely as from the corpse in the fountain. Who? I'm sorry, Paul. It's Billingsley. Good God! What? Suicide? No, it can't. He was just must have jumped from the observation deck. I turned to a passing security guard and flashed ID. Yes, Mr. McDaniel? Can't you turn off? We're trying. Everything's run by computers. No one can figure out how to turn off the fountain, and the coroner can't get the body out until we do. Afraid he might get electrocuted if anything is shorted out. The body's been there for over an hour. You can't let his wife see. Too late. Cop saw his wallet in the water, fished it out, and called her. Poor lady lost it. EMTs had to sedate her. They just took her away in an ambulance. Can we at least keep his kids from? He shook his head. Every TV camera in the city is out there. His kids are likely watching it broadcast live at school. Damn. Billingsley. I'd worked with Frank Billingsley the entire 6 years I'd been at the firm, most of that time on just one case. Sycorax Limited, v. Milano Corporation. Sycorax came out of nowhere, claimed 3 key Milano patents and hired Hector Cabrini, having recently won the largest judgment in state history against an airplane manufacturer, to recover lost profits in the millions and secure intellectual property worth billions. Milano tapped Strange and Fowler, Atlanta's most prestigious law firm, for its defense. I started there as an associate right out of Emory Law 2 weeks before the case was filed. Suicide never makes sense to me, but this one made even less sense. Just this week, Billingsley had given me first chair responsibility for arguing a discovery motion filed by Cabrini, telling me he planned to leave the office early that day to watch his youngest son pitch his first high school game. For the entire week before the game, Billingsley was pushing back appointments and client expectations to take the afternoon off, and was beaming the next morning with a pitch-by-pitch call of his boy's innings on his way to a win. This man was in full-throated enjoyment of life, one of the last people I'd expect to take his own. And that's just the opening 2 pages. Let me see, a little over 2 pages. So you need to get it. The link is in the description below. But read Ariel's Island first. Let me explain something about Pat McKee. He's a very smart attorney. He knows everybody in Georgia in the legal profession. He's dealt with so many different things. I couldn't even begin to summarize it. But let me tell you what he does really, really well, and that I think you'll see as you read the book. This dialogue of his, he just keeps it going. Yes, there's some places where the main character, Paul, speaks to the reader explaining things, or we get to see his internal thoughts, that sort of thing. But mostly there's just a huge amount of dialogue. And when there's action, oh my gosh, it is kick butt action. And you'll wonder, how is it this is just turning into this big mess? How is it he's caught up in it? How is it he's framed for murder? Who is behind all of this? Well, there's no way I can tell you. I could even tell you the end of the book right this minute, but I'm not going to. But I could, and you still wouldn't know how it is that it ended like that. You just got to read it. So get it. Go ahead and get both of the books at the same time, Ariel's Island and Ariel's Image. That's the first 2 in the trilogy. He's working on the 3rd one now, although it's going to be a booger to complete. Oh, goodness, I can't wait to see it. He's a great writer. Y'all enjoy. Bye.